Morning. Today we are starting some seeds for my garden. I organized all of them last night and got rid of a bunch and got my thoughts organized and categorized them all by like how soon I should start them indoors. So we don't have a ton to start today, but I wanted to start some seeds, get them under grow lights. In order to do this, I need to go to get some seed starting soil as well as some seeds that I'd like to start today. So made myself a little list that I'll take with me. I'm installing 2 new garden beds kind of in my backyard. It will be in pretty much full sun during the fall, winter, and spring, and it becomes a little shaded out in the summer, which is kind of perfect here in Zone 8B in Atlanta for me to plant some leafy greens because maybe they'll have a chance of survival during the very hot summers. This is pretty much the only warm-ish day before a winter storm comes in this weekend. I'm hoping for snow. It'll probably just be ice, but yeah, today's like high is around 50, so I'm trying to get this work done before it gets too cold. Everything is in standby mode over here. This was like last year kind of my leafy green onion bed, and then it didn't really have anything to do in the summer, so I'm actually moving all of my tomatoes, peppers here, and then I'm going to turn this bed into a flower garden, I guess. I'm going to do a whole bed of like a dahlia experiment. Maybe it'll be like way too much, but I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to put another kind of long bed right here, which is where I'll do like all my cosmos, zinnias, campanula, any new like flower seeds I'm testing. My little baby half hoop like broke, but this was probably is still lettuce, but I think it all froze, so yeah, not looking great. But I usually will do my squash and my cucumbers and all that stuff here on this cattle panel. So anyways, that was a little garden update. Let's go get that soil, and it's kind of cold. Yes, my Christmas stuff is still up. Probably gonna take it down soon, but it's bringing me a lot of joy, so it stays. I got some soil. I only had the smaller bag, but it'll do for now. And they didn't really have much of the seeds that I wanted, but I did get some shallots, which were on my list. And I picked up some arugula, because why not? And lemon balm, which I know will like take over any space, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna have a lot of space in those back beds, and lemon balm is great for teas, which I'm wanting to do more of anyway. And then the owner of the shop brought me back and showed me an agave plant that was going to flower, and once they flower they die, and he was telling me how they were collecting the pups off of it, and then he gave me one, so that was so sweet. Find yourself a local garden center because that's where the magic happens. Alright, I'm going to start some seeds. Actually, let me put you up here so you can see a wee bit better. I have these 6L trays from Epic Gardening that I do like. I have done trays. I've recycled stuff I've gotten from nurseries. I've also done soil blocking. I find that, honestly, getting yourself some good trays like this, they'll last a really long time, and I'm really trying to like reduce the amount of plastic that is a part of gardening, but I'm going to use these over and over again. And if you take good care of them, they will last a very long time. I don't think I need a ton of trays today because I don't have that many seeds I need to start. I lightly dampened it inside. And hot tip, if you, like me, don't have anywhere inside to sit and do this, you know, without making a mess. I don't have a greenhouse or a closed garage or anything. Use warm water. That way it's not as cold on your hand. You want to make sure that the soil is touching the bottom. So you can give them a little squeeze at the top just to get some of that air out. And then we're gonna put more soil on top. And I think that this is a good starting place for putting in your seeds because there's still enough air in there for us to push it down a little bit. And then we can top it off with soil at the end. So I'm just gonna fill a couple of these and then we'll get to seed starting. We're only planting this many. Do you guys want to see what I'm looking at? I want to show you my beautiful backyard. It's lovely, isn't it? Label before you plant your seeds, that way you don't get anything confused. I believe we are ready to plant. So let's get to it. You can look on the back of your seed packets for individual planting guides because each seed likes to be planted at like a different depth. This one wants to be like sprinkled on top and lightly pressed in. And some seeds require light for germination. So just pay attention to what each seed needs and go from there. Gosh, my fingers are so wet in the soil. When you're pressing seeds into the surface, make sure to check fingers because sometimes the seeds will stick to your fingies. Now that my fingers are freezing, let's go inside. I'm gonna take this downstairs. Hello and good day to you. As you can see, we have some trays filled with soil. We are gonna be starting some seeds today. I started some seeds a couple weeks ago from my early stuff. Some of it was kind of a crapshoot, some of it was whatever. The only thing that has been successful is my mini red bell pepper seeds from Epic Gardening. So yay. So I will say I started those seeds because I was just so excited. I couldn't contain myself. Oh, and also I have a lobelia that sprouted. So I'm gonna take care of that little guy. But we have a much longer list of seeds that I would like to start today. So let me tell you what I'm planting for this, my early spring garden. We are in our 6 to 8 weeks prior to last frost time. My last frost is around April 1st, sometimes a little bit later, sometimes a little bit earlier, but I feel like it's a pretty good time. And so we are kind of at the 8-week mark right now. So we've got a fun stack of things to plant, some of my favorite flowers, I'm very excited, and some new ones that I've never grown before. We start with some of my absolute favorite thing to grow. It does so well here, and it is native to the Southeast, are my rudbeckias, which are black-eyed Susans. So black-eyed Susans are perennials that last a long time and they do really well in the Southeast. The seed heads, especially when the plant goes dormant, are a great food source for birds. American goldfinches especially love to eat the seed heads in the winter. So I pick a ton and I also leave some on the plant as we move into fall, winter to provide a food source. However, the perennial variety that you think of when you think of a black-eyed Susan are very beautiful and prolific here, but there are so many interesting varieties of rudbeckia that I have grown in the past. Like Sunbeckia luna, I grew some rudbeckia Sahara as well as cherry brandy last year. And I've also grown Irish eyes. I think those are all the other varieties that I've had in my garden. Some of which I grew from seed, some of which I bought at my nursery. These are all Rudbeckia hirtas. I expect them to be short-lived perennials. So what that means, starting them in early or late winter for an early spring planting still gives them time to get established, but they will be smaller plants for that first year, and then they'll probably have 2 years of beautiful blooms. And when I say beautiful, look at this beautiful bush of blooms by my mailbox that I had a few years ago. Now, like I said, short-lived perennials, no longer there. But I am basically starting these for next year me. And yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but I think my favorite part of gardening is practice of patience and really planning for future me, so that I will be able to enjoy these things 2 years from now. And you might be saying, Stephanie, you could just buy this stuff from the nursery. Why are you planting it from seed? Well, first of all, cheaper. Second of all, I can get way more plants. Third of all, these varieties are very hard to find. In fact, I feel like I only see 2 to 3 new Rudbeckia varieties pop up to buy as seeds like each year. So every year I like to try a couple more, and so this year I'll actually be able to really enjoy the fullness and beauty of the Sahara and cherry brandy that I planted last year. And they did bloom last year and they were beautiful, but I think this year they'll actually really bush out, which I'm so excited about. So let's talk about the varieties. Okay, so the first variety of Rudbeckia I'm growing is Moppets. I think this will be really beautiful in bouquets and in the landscape. The next variety I'm growing is Prairie Sun, which are very similar to the Rudbeckia Irish eyes I grew a few years ago, which looked so stunning in the vase as well as in the garden. And so I'm excited to do this. And this one is probably the most interesting one on the list. This is Cappuccino, heat tolerant for season-long color, which is great because I live in Georgia. It gets really hot. So I'm very excited to start these. I'm already out of room in the garden, by the way. In my landscapes, kind of out of room. I'll find spots. Up next, calendula. I love calendula. I think it's a beautiful early spring bloomer, flower. Also another great one to plant in the fall. I had some self-seed that's already in the garden that's popping up, but this is calendula neon. Not only are they great in the garden, they are edible, and they are great if you want like a medicinal plant or tea plant. So very excited about this. I'm gonna start some in trays so that I know I can get them in the ground ASAP, okay? I have 2 varieties of violas. They're one of the earliest blooms that can tolerate being a little cold. And what I love about them is that they're edible. So those early spring cakes or desserts or cocktails that need a little garnish, pansies are your girl. So I got Sorbet Lavender Pink and Matrix Rose Blotch. I've never grown violas from seed, so wish me luck. Leeks. Should have started these before. Went to the store, couldn't find seeds in the store, so I just ordered some online with the seed order. So these are the Chinook F1 summer variety. I'm very sorry about Penny. She's not gonna move. I'm trying a brand new flower this year. I feel like last year was my Snapdragon year, and I started a ton of Snapdragons from seed. This year is gonna be my Campanula year, okay? I saw it in person and I was like, wow, these really are like fairy cups. And I thought that they were so precious, so whimsical. I just had to try, okay? So I got the rose F1, white F1, and lavender F1. And they are exactly the colors they sound like. And I think even though my kales and my spinaches are supposed to go out a bit later, I think I'm gonna start them now and let them kind of get going. And I will direct seed as well, but I think I did have very good luck last year starting some Paris Island Cos inside. And I feel like the stuff that takes really well in my garden when I chaos garden, thanks Meg Grows Plants, are like the mesclun lettuce, like the salad bowls, etc. I had very good luck last year starting just like a tray of this and putting it out. I was able to harvest off of it all spring. My least favorite part about this were the earwigs. So many earwigs. I'm also gonna do red Russian kale. Did the same thing last year, worked great. And then my dinosaur kale. My dinosaur kale that I started last spring just died during our last cold snap. It grew a whole year and it lived under the shadow of my tomatoes and kind of went dormant in the summer, but I had a great harvest again in the fall. If you're in, a zone similar to mine, they will last a long time. And I might just do some, do I even have any little gem left? I have a little bit. Maybe I'll do a few cells of this just to see if I can't get it in the garden. I think that's it. All of my other lettuces, I really did have a good experience just chaos gardening them last year. So I'm gonna get to planting. Wish me luck. I'm eating a boiled egg and I feel like I'm on Traitors. If you know, you know. Okay, I did just realize that I ran out of labels. I've been using like last year's cut in half itty bitties. But then I remembered that my husband has a 3D printer, and not only is this gonna be great because, now I have unlimited ones. I actually, the tall ones, when I put the domed lid on this seed tray thing, like bends them, doesn't really fit. So I just measured the exact height I needed and they fit in here great. Can be written on. So I'm super excited about these. Now I can finally finish planting because I didn't want to plant anything without it being labeled. So we're off to the races again. But for a lot of these, I'm over planting and then I plan to prick them out, which means I will separate the cell, up pot them, or plant them out from that one cell. So I don't know, we're gonna see how it goes. It worked well for my snapdragons last year. A lot of plants don't mind root disturbance like that. Obviously the root crops do mind, but I'm thinking maybe these won't, and we're gonna try it. I really do like these 6 cell trays from Epic Gardening, and I do have a code that will give you 5% off. It's no biggie, and I do get commission on it, but I really do love Epic Gardening, and I do love Botanical Interest, the seed company that they own. So I actually got a bunch of those seeds when I got my new Birdies raised beds. So I'm trying a lot of them out this year. All right, everything is in front or under grow lights now. So let's take a look. These are some shallots that I need to plant out next week. All right, please comment down below what you plan to grow this early spring garden, whether it be flowers or veggies, whatever. Let me know. I would love to hear it. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful growing season, and I'll see you guys very soon. It's a root. Yeah, see how there's like, you can see spacing? Probably gonna be able to do this, but all the bees are freaking out.